How do you avoid anger?
Disclaimer alert! Disclaimer alert! Please pause the video and read the disclaimer.
What if I told you that you don't have to avoid anger or being angry? That in fact, it is better to work with anger instead of avoid it. Are you still here? Good. So, in order to work with anger, we have to understand what it is or why we have or we get angry. Well, anger is an emotion. It is an emotion that is linked with fear. Its purpose is to protect us. So, anger is a very good emotion that serves us well. Now, anger is also an emotion that is active. It wants to be expressed, right? That's why when you're angry, you want to hit people, you want to yell, you want to break things. When people are angry, they feel it in their belly. Some people feel it on their shoulders. Some people have a headache. Some their eyes starts to burn, or some their whole body is just jittery, right? It wants to be expressed. It's an active emotion. It's active. So when you work with it is when you take that activity and you use it for positive, right? So now you're gonna say, okay, I get it, but why or how do you use it for positive? So I'm going to give you two examples of two very famous men. One is Tupac, like one of my favorite musicians, hands down, like great musician. So Tupac grew up in a very bad environment filled with drugs, prostitution, poverty. He was born in jail. His mother was a drug addict. He grew up being hungry and angry because the people who were supposed to protect him failed to do so because they themselves were in a bad situation. So he took his anger and he joined the streets, right? He started to do drugs, sell drugs, being a thug, proud of it, threatening to kill, being vocal about it. He even made songs about him killing people, right? That's what he did. He took his anger and he took what was his and he was proud to do it. Now we know how his life ended. Even though he did try to channel his anger in a positive way, it was a little bit too late. Second is his friend Snoop. Snoop also grew up in same neighborhood, same predicament, same drugs, prostitution, alcoholism, just killing. Grew up angry and they were friends, right? So obviously, birds of the same flock fly together. So, but somehow paused, and remember, this is a very important word. He paused and he thought about his life, and he thought, I want my life to have purpose, right? So that is like pondering. So he's angry, he's looking at his situation, and he paused and thought about what was going on. That's the first thing that you do when you work with anger. And he became deliberate. And becoming deliberate, that's number two of working with anger, is he wanted his life to have purpose. And then he cultivated the anger to make music. But he didn't just make music, he also stayed away. He became deliberate about staying away from things that will bring him negative results. And we know where his story ends. He's still alive. He's still a legend. I mean, I'm not saying Tupac is not a legend, but Tupac is not alive and Snoop is alive. And he's a legend and he's living a peaceful life. Nobody's trying to shoot him every corner he goes, right? So when you deal with anger in a negative way is when you don't say anything about it, right? So some people grew up in homes where when they were kids and they threw a tantrum, they were punished, right? So they quickly learn, which this emotion gets me in trouble, so it's better not to get angry, because every time I'm angry, I throw a tantrum, right? Whether I yell, scream, hit, do whatever, because that's how kids do things as they were learning to process things. If they were not taught to deal with their anger in a positive way and they were punished, then they learn to suppress the anger. And as they suppress the anger, then they start to have back pain, stomach pains, shoulder pains, this pain. They have cancer. So that's internalized anger. That's negative. And then you have other people who gets mad, right? So when you are angry with a person, you know that, right? You sometimes secretly wish them ill, or you get mad at them and wish that they could experience the pain, or worse pain than the one that they have caused you, right? So, or we go and punch them. So both ways of dealing with the anger is not good. Suppressing it is not good. So it's like drinking poison and expecting it to hurt the person that you are angry with, right? And being angry and doing something violent leads to you being like Tupac, not being here, or leads to jail. But when you work with anger, you stop, pause, think about what you are angry about, think about what is going on. I'm sorry guys, like there's wind here, so that's what you're hearing, things banging outside from the wind, right? So pause, then become deliberate. Feel your anger where it is, whether it's in your shoulders, in your belly, on your back, or your whole body's boiling. And then become deliberate. Use that energy, write a song, dance, go for a walk, start a project that will help you feel better in that alleviation of anger. So anger is not something that needs to be feared, but anger is an emotion that can be cultivated to do a whole lot of great things. Anger is not meant to be suppressed. Anger is meant to be expressed in a positive way. So take the negative energy, take the pain, and use it for good, to change your life for the better, or the lives of those around you for the better. That is how you work with anger. Pause, become deliberate about it, and use that energy for something. So rechannel that energy to do something good. Don't hurt yourself by suppressing it, and don't hurt yourself by getting revenge or hurting other people. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Share with somebody who can benefit from this video. Like and comment so we can continue to build a community of mentally healthy people. See you in the next video. Deuces.